Okay, here we are, week 7, the 1 week before the last week, the New Year's Eve of weeks, as some brilliant person once said in an announcement. Me. So, all right, here's what we're doing. Gonna go over. Let me take you first to. So, week 7 is basically all about um, revising your essay. So, improving your essay. That's sort of the main assignment. Let me go to the discussion world for a moment. Show some things here. Okay, so and we're back to sort of everybody having the same, I mean, we're all week 7 discussion, so that's where I'll be posting things that are trying to help. One thing I'm posting is this sort of question and answer. I mean, this is just basically, again, I'm just trying to do that group document thing. It doesn't, sometimes it works, sometimes it doesn't. But anyway, you can put, if you have specific questions about your specific essay, even, you can put them there. Or if you want to copy and paste part of your essay in and ask me about it. So that's sort of what that's for. I feel like it's, depending when people are logged in, and they have this idea, they can just go um, ask a question or post some work and ask me to comment on it. So far, this is the other thing. I want to make sure everybody's seen the feedback that I've given on your rough drafts, right? So you click grades, and then assuming you have a grade, once you have a grade, then you know that I've already looked at it and done comments. So you have a grade, and then so you click on the main assignment, and it brings you to this page. I'm just pointing it out because it's hard to see. Like they don't make it super easy. So viewing feedback, that would be um, that's going to be the actual essay where I've written comments on it, and then there's the rubric, which shows you how you did and what you might have missed in the rubric. So those are two things. Again, I'm pointing it out because it's difficult. It's easy to miss it and not know where any comments are. So click on grades, click on the assignment, and then make sure you check out view feedback and then show rubric. And then this is the PowerPoint that I'm going to be doing. So let me get the PowerPoint up. Started here. So we're going to talk about here we are. I must have been emoji crazy this week for some reason. Okay. So you have your textbook readings. You have your lesson again, that's going to be all about sort of focusing on revision. We're going to go over the discussion posts. There are two parts to it. And then obviously the thing that you're trying to submit by Sunday night is the final draft of the research essay. And there's also a week 7 quiz as per usual. So here we go. Discussion. This is the first. So the first post, there's two posts you're making. So the main, or rather, one big post, but you're doing two things to it. So the main post for part 1 is you're going to create and then you're sharing sort of your revision plan. So I think what they're trying to get at with this type of an assignment is just this concept, which I'm guessing everybody who I'm talking to right now already does this to some degree, but it's about basically just planning out when you're going to be able to do your revisions. Okay, so this first part here, like which days and time slots on your calendar this week. So they're trying to get you to be specific about which days and like which blocks of time you plan to work on the essay, right? The theory being that when human beings do that, then we're more likely to follow through, right? Meaning if we schedule things, we're pretty good about showing up and doing them. So that's what that part's about. So you pick some days, you pick some times that you'll basically be working on the essay. Then you're going to explain basically why you chose these particular times, right? So this is a reflection on, your time and what you're doing. And, usually people are like, well, I have a break between this and I don't work on this day or whatever. But it's, you're trying to be specific about what else is going on or like why you chose those times. Again, I think being very specific, like so scheduling things and then being specific about why you need to do it at that time helps make people follow through on it, right? If I'm forced to be like, okay, I have to do it Thursday afternoon, and then I have to say why, like, oh, because I have a break before, my daughter comes back over, and so, like, in my mind now, I've sort of been able to, like, I've given myself reason, like, yeah, I better really do it because then she's coming over and I have a limited time, and it's a way to, I think, help procrastinators, and since I'm one, I appreciate that. Um, okay, and then the idea is at this point, like, I mean, we're on Tuesday only, but in theory, you have begun working through the stages of revision, which we will go over. So they're provided for the main assignment. It's about the different stages of revision, which means you're basically looking at your essay from different, using different lenses, right? And means you're paying attention to a certain thing and working on that, and then you change the lens and you look at something else. So that's basically what the revision, like the worksheet or the schedule thing that they give us. I'll show you that. So they also want you to explain where you are, right? So when you do this, uh, part one, the first part of the post. So what stage are you on in the revision world? And there are, I think, 5 or 6 stages. So anyway, so you just talk about, here's where I am. What have you learned so far? What have you thought about? Have you made any changes? Again, being specific is the key pretty much to the whole post. So that's the first part of the post. And that can all be done basically in a paragraph, right? So in one full paragraph, you're giving us your schedule, date and times, explaining why those date and times, and tell us where you are at in the revision process, what you fixed, what you're working on. Then there's the main post, part two. So this is an interesting idea where they're trying to also, in order to help people push through and get this and do a good job of revising and turn out like their best work, this idea that you should reward yourself for for completing basically different stages, right? Again, I really think a lot of these are techniques, right, that are meant to help procrastinating people, right, which many people are, just because they're sort of clever ways that you are sort of not really tricking yourself, but like incentivizing yourself to sit down at a certain time, do actual work, and then also you're supposed to be rewarding yourself. So in one full paragraph, um, describe at least 3 of your post revision level rewards. So that means after I complete this level of revision, I'm going to, I don't know, fly to Cancun. That's probably extreme, but like get some ice cream or something. I mean, or do whatever. It can be anything, but that's what it means. Like you're going to be like, once I finish this level, and we'll talk about the levels in a second, then there's some reward. And then this is it. What are the rewards? So you need to do 3 of them, right? So I finished this level. Here's the reward. Here's where they are, what they look like, who will be there. Is it just you? How will each reward refresh you, right? So it's this imagination experience where you're sort of like being like, okay, when I finish this, I'll get to do this other thing and it'll make me feel more relaxed and I'll do. And so just getting all of that programmed into our brain, another strategy for making us show up and do the work, I guess. I believe in it. Um, so that's it. So that's the second. So that's another paragraph. So 2 paragraphs for discussion. Second paragraph is about the rewarding yourself after specific stages of revision. Um, okay, so that's that one. Let me stop it here and start again.